Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm just here for a very quick unboxing. I just got some book mail that I've been waiting for since like June and now it's September. So everything that happened with George Floyd and everything in May, and then a lot went around on the internet talking about supporting Black and minority owned businesses and even local businesses, stuff like that. So I went online and I Googled the minority-owned bookstores in Canada. 5 came up, 3 in Ontario, 1 in Quebec, and I think 1 in Ottawa. I don't live near any of those places. And I was like, there isn't one single minority-owned bookstore in Alberta or even BC. Like, that doesn't make sense. Whatever. So I went online and I found this one in Toronto called A Different Booklist. They just happened to be in June. They were doing free shipping, so that was exciting. So I got 2 books, and then when I learned about the read-a-thon, the read-a-thon, so back in like July, I ordered another book from them, and then they, sent out an email saying they've gotten a lot of business lately. Things are a little bit slower, but as soon as the books come in, they'll be sent. So I called them last Thursday, maybe, like a week ago. I was like, hi, I'm just wondering if my books got sent out, maybe sent back or something like that. Like, maybe I just missed it, because I knew they were, like, backlogged and stuff, but I wasn't sure how bad, I guess, or how long it was going to take. And she's like, no, your last book just came in now, so we're going to send it all out together, because, like I said, I'd bought 2, and then a few weeks later, I bought another one, so they were actually just waiting for all 3 to come in. Then today is Friday, so it came in within a week of them telling me, like that night or the next morning I got an email saying it was mailed out. So that was pretty quick because it's coming from Toronto to Alberta. So, okay, Google, what's the distance between Fort McMurray, Alberta and Toronto, Ontario?
It is 3,613 kilometers to get to Toronto from Fort McMurray by car.
3,614 kilometers. Okay, Google, how many miles is that? Oh, no, she doesn't want to tell me miles, but over 3,000 kilometers that it traveled in the last week. Oh, now she responded, but it wasn't working. Anyways, my receipt. So the book was $18 and shipping was $10. So normally, when I'm buying online for books, I don't even shop at Amazon usually. I shop at Chapters because I find that the prices at Chapters and Amazon are basically the same. So I go with Chapters because then I get my plum points. And if you spend $35 or more, you get free shipping, which is like 2 books. Sometimes I need to throw in like maybe a cheaper book in there or something else I'm looking for, but I get my plum points. But see, I spent $29. I could have spent $5 extra and gotten just books and free shipping, right? But I do want to try making an effort to buy more books from local bookstores, which we don't have one. Sadly, the only bookstore we had where I live, the local bookstore we had, closed down. But when I travel into Edmonton and stuff like that, I'm hoping to shop at more local bookstores. And then even trying like a different book list and maybe trying one of the other ones that were on that list of 5 bookstores. And just spreading my money out a little bit more. Chapters is always going to be there. I'm always going to be able to get stuff from there. Anyways, this book I got for the read-a-thon. And it is called A Credit to Your Race by Truman Green. And this was going to be my like love story one. And it also takes place where I used to live. So in a place where I used to live. It is by a non-white person. They look black in that picture there. It's actually clearer in the camera than it is when I look at it. It's all like pixelated. It's kind of funny. Set in Surrey, BC, circa 1960, A Credit to Your Race is a story about innocent love awakening between a 15-year-old black porter's son and the white girl next door. So the author is black. The novel is a disturbing and convincing portrayal of how the full weight of racism and bigotry could come to bear on a youthful interracial couple. A Credit to Your Race was published in 1973 in a press run of only a few hundred copies. We are pleased to be making this lost BC novel available to a new audience of readers. Anvil Press. So, it should be like a really easy read too. Like, it's pretty thin. Oh, there's like questions in the back. Oh, interview with the author. So it's 150 pages and then an interview with the author, but like the font and stuff is so big and like spaced out and stuff. So this should be a really good and fast read as well. So I'm so excited about this. And then this is what I originally bought after everything happened with George Floyd and things coming out about Book Outlet and everything like that. This is what I originally went and bought because I've never purposely sought out diverse authors or diverse books before. I'm one of those people who just says, I read what sounds interesting. And I heard a couple of people on BookTube be like, what does that even mean? If you read what sounds interesting to you, why is everything on your shelf just white men or white women or just white authors? For me, I personally speak to myself what it means to say, like, if it sounds interesting, I read the synopsis. If it sounds interesting, I pick it up. A lot of people were talking about, and I need to do a better job of looking up, like, who these authors are. I understand that. A lot of the authors I do read are, like, white men. Like, I was reading a lot of Nicholas Sparks when I was younger. I still read Michael Connolly. James Patterson I read so much of. But books like, everyone was talking about Scythe and, like, the trilogy. And I was like, this sounds really interesting. I want to read this, and found the audio of the first book for me and my husband to listen to. And then I saw a picture of, like, Neil Shusterman, and I was like, he's a black guy? Like, I had no idea. Okay, honestly, like, I never heard of him before or these books or anything like that. So, like, BookTube is exposing me to new authors and stuff. And then, like, my friend will send me, she's like, I want to read this. Do you want to read it with me? The one we read was The Feeding of Ravenously Hungry Girls. And I believe, I'll find a picture of it, but I can't remember. I think it's a female author, but a story of, like, a black family. So that book was okay. It wasn't quite what we were expecting it to be, but still, like, it just sounded like an interesting book. Before BookTube, I would get my what I want to read by looking at, like, chapters. I just started Goodreads, like, actually using Goodreads this year. I was looking at Pinterest, what was coming up, like, to read in 2020, like the best thrillers and things like that, and just going to bookstores and looking at books on the shelves, kind of thing. Like, I don't know, or books, like, recommendations from friends. And then I listen to a podcast, but that's all, like, Christian, women's, not, like, parenting, wife, stuff like that. So that's all, like, nonfiction. But yeah, like, diversely, I wasn't, like, actively seeking out diverse characters, diverse authors, things like that. So I'm trying to be a little bit better about that now. So these are the two books I picked up originally. I have heard about because, again, BookTube. So Queenie by Candace Carty-Williams. Must-read novel about sex, selfhood, and the best friendships that get us through it all. Candace Bushnell, creator of Sex and the City. So what a pretty cover. Queenie's a journalist, catastrophist, lonely, loved, and relatable. Her boyfriend has asked her to leave their apartment. Her boss doesn't seem to see her. Her Jamaican British family doesn't seem to hear her. Her best friends try but fail to help her. Queenie is in a spiral. As she careens from one questionable decision to another, she finds herself wondering, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Who do you want to be? All the quandaries today's women must face in a world trying to answer them for her. Yes, definitely. I feel that. I've heard good things about this, so I'm excited about that. Again, it's like that really soft cover, like matte, soft. I like that on paperbacks. I have a thing with, like, texture. Some of them just have, like, this grainy texture that I don't like. This one's kind of, like, on the verge of it. But I got There by Tommy Orange, it looks like. So Tommy Orange's wondrous and shattering novel follows 12 characters from Native communities, all traveling to the big Oakland powwow, all connected to one another in ways they may not yet realize. Among them is Jackie Redfeather, newly sober and trying to make it back to the family she left behind. Danae Oxen, okay, the last name is also like her first name. And I'm just guessing at the pronunciation. Danae Oxendanae. Pulling his life together after his uncle's death and working at the powwow to honor his memory. 14-year-old Orville coming to perform traditional dance for the very first time. Together, this chorus of voices tells of the plight of the urban Native American, grappling with a complex and painful history with the inheritance of beauty and spirituality, With communion and sacrifice and heroism. Hailed as the instant classic, There is at once poignant and unflinching, utterly contemporary, and truly unforgettable. So I picked up these books because diversity. So I got like a Black author and then Native. Yeah, I'm excited to get into all these books. So I got like a whole range. Canadian, American, Black, Native, Indigenous. It says 12 characters of Native communities, so I'll go with Native. But yeah, I'm so excited. So that's my little mini book haul, 3 books. I'll leave links in the description below about ways you can support Black Lives Matter in Canada for a different book list in Toronto, Ontario, and the other 4 bookstores you can check out. Remember to support local when you can. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.